Hi everyone, my name is Bayliss. I am the Director of Educational Equity and Senior Counsel at the National Women's Law Center, and I'm here at South by Southwest with Philly Goes to College.
We are here with Bayliss, who is the Director of Educational Equity and Senior Counsel at the National Women's Law Center. Bayliss, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
So your work centers on equitable access to education for women and girls, particularly women of color and pregnant and parenting women. How did you get into this line of work, and why is it important to you?
Yeah, I've always been passionate about educational equity. I didn't initially seek this route for a career, but when I got to law school, I was actually focused on becoming a criminal prosecutor. And in doing that work, I realized that a lot of people who were pleading guilty to crimes in court, they mentioned that they didn't finish their high school education, and I realized that there was a pathway from the education system right into the prison system. And rather than have to incarcerate someone, I really wanted to help fix that pipeline. And so I got into education policy, and that's what I've been doing for some years now.
Wow. So when women are searching for their best fit college, how can they determine if a school prioritizes a safe and affirming environment for female students?
Yeah, so I would say that there are two main ways. First, I would say actually go to the college and visit, right? And so when you go to the college, you're going to look for whether there are any signs posted in the student common areas that indicate I am your Title IX reporter, or any signs that mention sexual assault or sexual harassment, where to go to report such things. And if you don't see that present, then that might indicate that it's not something that comes up often, or not something that they're willing to discuss or have resources for. I would also look at the different organizations that they have on campus. So what kind of student organizations are there? Is there a women's club? Is there a women's leadership club? We have a panel tomorrow where we're going to feature a student advocacy organization called Know Your Nine. And so they teach students their rights under Title IX. Are they present on campus? It doesn't mean that it's not a great campus, but just look at what's there and speak to the students and ask them, do they feel safe? Do they feel supported as young women on campus? And if you can't make it to the campus, definitely reach out to someone on Facebook. I'm not sure if that's what this generation is doing, but back when I was on Facebook and during my college years, we were like the first group of folks to get on it when it was just for college students. And we would add each other often so that we could talk about different campuses. And then I would say definitely check the Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights website, because they do list findings of investigations that they've done, and they list open investigations sometimes. And so you can get an idea for if the college you're looking at has an active Title IX investigation. And that doesn't indicate that it's a horrible place to go. They just might have some work to do. And you could be the voice of change there as well.
So one study showed that 22% of American undergraduate college students are parents. First, why don't we hear more about that population? And second, what should parenting college students know about their rights and opportunities?
Absolutely. We really don't see enough of that student population. I think that when you think of a college student, you get someone who's very traditional, 18 to 22, fresh out of high school, and they don't have any responsibilities, and that's actually not the reality. 1 in 4, as you mentioned, college students are actually parents, and so it requires universities to reconsider the resources that they're giving to student parents. And so what I would say is that under Title IX, you should not be discriminated against because of your parenting status. If you are in fact pregnant and you have conditions related to your pregnancy, you speak to your Title IX coordinator, and they are supposed to accommodate you for that. And those of us on the advocacy side, we're working to make sure that students get access to affordable housing and nutrition support and affordable transportation and affordable childcare. So all things that we really hope to see for them in the future.
And so you mentioned the Title IX office. Can you share, if I'm a student on campus, first, where can I find that office?
Yes.
And second, what kind of help or support or questions can I go there with?
So you would find your Title IX. I would say the first place to look is like in the office of the president. So you're looking for where the dean of student affairs would be, and the dean of student life. Look in those departments and ask, who is the Title IX coordinator here? Once you've identified that office, you can definitely go to them if you have questions about, well, I am having a baby and I'm not sure what my rights are, can you tell me? Or I realize that the boys soccer team gets way more money than the girls soccer team. What's happening here? You can go to them and talk about anything related to gender and gender discrimination on campus.
Can you talk about some wins we've seen in access to education for women and girls?
Some wins we've seen. I mean, I think Title IX within itself is a win, and that Title IX turned 50 last year, so that's a good thing.
Could you tell our student audience what Title IX is, just in case they are not familiar with it?
So Title IX is a law that helps to protect against sex discrimination in school. And so before Title IX was law, it wasn't uncommon for girls to not even have a facility to play sports at their high school, college. It covers the entire education spectrum. It wasn't uncommon for girls to have to fight for even a sports team, a baseball team. When you get the baseball team, you don't have any uniforms and you don't have a place to change. You don't have shower, but the boys have those resources. And so Title IX was put in place to address that and other gender discrimination issues in education. I mean, there was a point in time in this country where if you became pregnant in high school, you were sent to a specialized school for girls that had a completely different curriculum. And now you can elect into a special school, but the school cannot force you into a special school, which of course didn't give them the courses that were as rigorous as they would get in a normal high school. So just different forms of gender discrimination. Title IX is your friend.
So can you tell us, where did you go to college?
I went to the University of Massachusetts at Amherst, and then I went to Northeastern University for law school.
Okay, and what was your best memory in either undergrad or law school?
My best memory, so UMass had this gathering that they used to do every year. In my day, we called it Blackout Weekend, and it was a time when the black students would invite their family and their friends to campus, and it would be like a big party. We'd have a cookout. The fraternities and sororities would often do step shows and have lines come out, and it was just a good time to celebrate our culture. And being at a PWI, I didn't feel robbed of that experience, and so I really did enjoy that. It was like a whole weekend filled with events and free barbecue and just a good time.
And so what would you have told your high school self if you could go back in time? What would you tell her about college and career?
Yeah, I would tell her, try everything. Like I wish I had studied abroad. I was scared because I didn't have the financial resources to do so, but I wish I had went to someone and said that. Because the school has resources, especially if you're going to a state university, it is their job to get you across the finish line. And so I wish I had went to someone and said, I really want to go abroad. I don't have any money. How can we fix this? And likely someone would have found a scholarship or some kind of way to make it happen. I didn't know that back then, though. So I would tell her, try everything that comes across your way and just enjoy the lessons from everything.
Well, thank you so much. This was fantastic.
Thank you.